If it ain't me, you. Curry get the flame calling. Prince Zuko. Swimming through the money like a flounder.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. Welcome to the special Saturday edition of the NFL on EA Sports. Straight ahead, we've got a great one on tap between the Seattle Seahawks and the San Francisco 49ers. With that, let's get you out to Silicon Valley, Levi Stadium in Santa Clara, as we welcome in our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
All right, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the so-called Silicon Valley and Levi Stadium in Santa Clara. The scene a short time ago, this crowd, they love their 49ers, and they were in full roar as their guys burst out of the locker room, and we're ready for football as the 49ers get set to do battle with the Seattle Seahawks. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
Gotta go.
Play action. Now Wilson. They'll roll him out right. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. 23 yards on the play.
Every coach we ever talk to says to his team before the game, quick start, guys. Let's get out of the gate fast. How about that? They took his lesson to heart, didn't they?
They did exactly that. A nice diving catch here on the game's opening drive.
Tempo. Fair. Right here, guys.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. He'll get 3 up to midfield.
Not much happening there on first down.
I thought there might have been a hole for a split second.
Yeah, but it dried up pretty quickly, didn't it? Closed fast.
Let's go to work. Tempo. 56, right there. Right left.
From midfield now, here's Wilson. And the tight end Dixon left side. And he'll go down shy of the 40 at the 41. His first catch, good for 9 and a first down.
Many different ways to create space, but on that play, he did it with that big, wide body of his. Didn't get a whole lot of yardage on the play, but it did what it was supposed to. Pick up a first down.
Come on, tempo.
Here's Rashad Penny, first carry for the former San Diego State Aztec. Busting through contact. Just wasn't a huge hole there for him to operate. Stopped just inside the 35-yard line.
One of the surprises of the first round, the Seattle Seahawks selecting running back Rashad Penny out of San Diego State. Highly regarded, but most people thought he would go in the second round.
But he did have an incredible senior year at San Diego State. Over 2,200 yards, 23 touchdowns.
He resembles Marshawn Lynch in build, but has the ability to take it the distance as well. Had 7 kick returns during his career at San Diego State for touchdowns.
Now it's Carson, and that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. That'll set him back with a loss of 3 on the play, and that'll lead here to a third down.
Well, forget about finding a lane there. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Probably fortunate he was able to hold on to the football.
Gotta go.
From the gun on third down, Wilson. The rushing numbers for Wilson maybe down from earlier in his career, but he's still a threat to go, showing it there, picking up the first down.
That's something you have to be aware of as a defense and have to find a way to account for him. And if you're not going to use a spy, you're telling your guys to keep your eyes on him, because when he breaks out and makes plays like that, all he does is hurt you.
Have to at least be able to contain him somewhat. There they could not. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. Steps up. Wilson. It's loose. It's out. Fumble.
On plays like this where the ball comes free, it's often unusual for the team that lost it to get it back, because this is the quarterback. The ball gets away from him. Everyone else is trying to execute what they're supposed to do on offense. They're usually looking in the other direction, downfield, or have moved away from him. In this case, though, a teammate is able to come up with the ball.
3rd and long. It's Wilson staying on his feet. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. And able to break 1 tackle, but then quickly brought down. He'll wind up getting 4 yards there on his own, but it also brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, nothing comes open here, so he decides to escape out of there, and he doesn't pick up a first down, but he does gain additional yardage to set up a possible field goal attempt if they decide to go that route.
A lot of energy in this building tonight, but the opening drive produces 3, maybe quiets them just a bit, at least momentarily.
Just a little, right? That's all you're asking for, right? Things just getting started. You know they haven't taken the momentum totally here, but at the same time, they like what they've done here in the early going.
And he'll get it up to about the 26-yard line, just across the 25. So here's the first drive now for the 49ers. We're going to look at Jimmy Garoppolo. He'll be under center, the 5th-year quarterback who's in his 2nd season now with the 49ers.
San Francisco gave New England a 2nd-round pick to acquire Jimmy Garoppolo's services, and it might turn out to be the steal of 2017. How about this for immediate impact? Took a 1-10 franchise, and when they put him in the starting lineup, won 5 straight games. In fact, in San Francisco, in some quarters, they're calling him Jimmy GQ.
And a diving grab. I think he got that, yes. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
Well, partner, when you ask anyone other than your QB to throw the ball, you must have a lot of confidence, or you think you're really going to fake them out, and it looks like they did exactly that.
Yeah, going deep in the playbook and a great grab on the other end. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 47. Garoppolo on 1st down. Oh, a scrap for the football, and he's going to come down with it. 11 more yards that go around, a 1st down as well.
I don't mean to jump in on you, partner, but they didn't waste any time getting downfield, did they? I mean, a nice big play there.
3 plays, 3 successful plays in plus territory. Now this defense on its heels a bit.
It seems like they had something targeted there, doesn't it? It's like, okay, we've got a matchup we like coming right out of the gate. Let's go ahead and get right to it.
And now whistles and a flag, and I think we got to jump here.
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
So 5 yards there as one of the big guys up front moved.
And in a 4-3 front, you've got the 2 defensive tackles right near the football. I know there's a lot of movement around there, but they're always taught to have one eye on the football. Apparently, that didn't happen.
Looking for Garcon, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 25. Through an opening, and there he goes. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. Short throw, pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Sebastian Janikowski on for the PAT. Janikowski good with the extra point, and the lead grows to 10-0. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And the decision to come out is going to cost him 5 as he's taken down right at the 20. And this should be the final play before the quarter ends. Now Garoppolo to try again after the pick 6. He's going to air one out. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 36-yard line. One quarter in the books. 10-zip our score. We're back to Santa Clara after this. Second quarter now. Brandon Gaudin, Charles Davis with you. It's the 49ers in control of the football, and they've got it here with a first down. So from Seahawk territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 36. Throwing on first is Garoppolo, and that is incomplete. The intended receiver, Marquise Goodwin. That'll bring up second down.
Let's face it, you can run the route tree as many times as you want, get in sync, practice it, do all those things. But once you get to game speed, it doesn't always time up quite that well. That one goes incomplete.
Now a play fake. Garoppolo. And Salek here, left side. And he's brought down, but not before reaching the 8-yard line. A really good pickup of 28 yards.
But when you hit him on the move like that, and he's able to get into open field with a full head of steam, oh, boy, it's going to be tough to get him down.
Yeah, there was a big window. They're lucky they did get him down. They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 9. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd down.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some...
And he's going to take it in. Touchdown, San Francisco. Garrett Salek, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the 49ers have cut it back within a score. Good bounce-back drive right there. Through the pick on drive number 1. Drive number 2 leads them right down the field into the end zone.
Agree totally. Excellent bounce back. Tremendous poise. Confidence never lost. And obviously he transmitted that to his teammates as well. What a really nice drive.
The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. On the return, the All-Pro 2 years ago, Tyler Lockett. And nice work on the return as they'll start their drive just past the 30-yard line. The Seahawks offense now, they get set to go back to work. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking. And I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met. So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. It'll be a gain of 2 on the play, but they'll remain a few inches short here with 3rd down looming.
Brandon, we talk all the time about those hybrid players, guys who could do more than one thing. And I think if you're playing strong safety in the NFL today, you are a true hybrid. Part linebacker, part cover guy.
And coming up, sticking his nose in the mess there and making a nice play defensively. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A gain of 13 and also a first down.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
When you see zone defense and you know you've got a drag route on as your primary call, you've got to be really careful as a passer about how far you let your guy go because he might wander into some tough coverage.
Now Wilson on second down. And he fires one incomplete.
The effort's always going to be there. Everyone's always going to try and make a catch, but underthrown balls, I think, are the toughest ones to come back and get because usually your momentum's going in the opposite direction when you're trying to stop, break, and come back and get it.
The Seahawks on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3.
51's Mike. Mike 51. Hey, they're scared. Hey, over here, over here.
Out of the gun, here's Wilson. It's caught on the left side by Baldwin. And he's able to get the first before he's taken down at the 36. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains.
I don't care how many times you tell the story, it never loses its luster for me. Doug Baldwin, undrafted out of Stanford, and plays like a #1 receiver should in the NFL. I don't care how you cover him. I don't care that his size isn't great. He's the one that typically comes up with the football.
Absolutely. His roots go all the way back to Gulf Breeze, Florida, where he's from, right on the water near Pensacola, and then, of course, to Stanford, and, boy, he's been good.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Wilson will throw again. Baldwin with it over the middle. And he's brought down. A really nice pickup of 14 yards, and it moves the sticks.
One thing I can say pretty safely, that route is not called if you don't have a guy who can throw the ball and put some mustard on it. Because if you're going to lollipop it in the middle of the field, bad things usually happen. It takes a strong-arm guy who can rifle it in there, and they were able to successfully complete that one.
It's caught right side, Dixon. A gain of 6 there on first.
So much goes into a successful play, doesn't it? How about that play action there, freezing the defense just enough to bring the tight end free downfield for the completion.
Well, they don't need to run another play here before the 2-minute warning. Let's see if they do it anyway.
19.
To throw again is Wilson. Being chased out left. And he's going to score. It's a Seahawk touchdown. Russell Wilson, a 10-yard touchdown run. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Janikowski now for the point after. Janikowski adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it was finished off with a 10-yard touchdown scamper. Out to kick is Janikowski. Set to return, here's Raheem Mostert. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. The 49ers offense now, they work their way back onto the field. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense getting the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3-and-out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
Give them 12 yards on that one. It earns them a fresh set of downs. Garoppolo now, first down throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. It's Robinson. And he'll get it out to midfield. Looks like, yeah, they'll spot it right at midfield at the 50. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion. From midfield, here's Garoppolo. Over the middle with the zone. And he'll go That's good for a Niner first down. Garoppolo to Garcon. And yet again, it's Garoppolo. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
You get a tight end like this, and you know he's used to dishing out punishment, but here, he's one that has to absorb the contact, and as a result, unable to hold on to the football.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Garoppolo again here on 2nd and 10. Throw left side, caught by Goodwin. And they do get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. And now before this first down play, we're going to get a timeout here, as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And we are back here. I'm Brandon Gaudin alongside Charles Davis. So the offense takes the timeout, and now we're set to get going. 1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Again, they'll throw with Garoppolo. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Now San Francisco going to call their 2nd timeout as the clock shows 50 seconds to play here in half number 1. So the offensive unit called the TO, and now we are ready to resume play. It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. On 2nd down, here's Garoppolo. And it's complete. In the end zone, touchdown 49ers. Marquise Goodwin from 8 yards out. And the 49ers are back within a score.
I think everyone in the league talks about finishing, don't they? Doesn't matter whether it's a quarter, a half, a game, a series, whatever. But they're finishing the first half in fine style, putting that one in the end zone.
They did, and they didn't leave much time on the clock either. Well done. So a challenge coming down from the booth, and that's where these challenges come from, of course, in the final 2 minutes of the half.
Yeah, now we're going to New York, right? That's command central for the officials. They'll talk, they'll take a look at it, communicate with the referee at the game site, and issue a final decision because they do have the final call now.
After review of the play, the ruling on the field stands.
Now Gold for the extra point. Gold with the extra point, and the lead's down to a field goal at 17-14. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Lockett the return. And some room to roam now. Tyler Lockett, the 20, 10, and all the way in. Touchdown, Seattle. Tyler Lockett, 99 yards. And the Seahawks add on to their lead.
And Tyler Lockett does it again. Talk about being able to transition what he did in college to the NFL. And I know there were doubters because of his size, but this guy is absolutely electric with the ball in his hands.
Plays like that, that's how you become a Pro Bowl return guy. Janikowski on for the extra point. Janikowski good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one goes down as a 99-yard kick return for 6 from the 1-yard line all the way to the house on the other end. So let's try this again. After the kick return TD, here's yet another kickoff. This is taken about 7 yards deep. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The 49er offense now making their way out onto the field. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They run it with McKinnon. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. And now the Seahawks are going to call another timeout as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. This is Breida, and an alley to run. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. And a timeout here. Timeout taken, whistles blown. Timeout taken by the receiving team. As they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. So on now is the Clemson man, Bradley Pinion, to punt this one away. Back deep, the dangerous Tyler Lockett. Oh, a nifty juke there.
Not much fun for a guy trying to tackle him.
Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And there'll be time for maybe one final play before halftime.
Come on, tempo, tempo.
They'll start on the ground. It's Rashad Penny. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. So we've come upon halftime with the visiting Seahawks. They're out in front. As we'll send you eastward to Orlando. Standing by with that EA Sports halftime report now is Jonathan Coachman. Take it away, Coach.
Okay, right, Brandon. Thanks very much. And welcome in, everyone, to this slimmed-down version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We want to remind you that new this year in regular season games, I'll take you around the NFL and give you stats and scores from games in progress, as well as look back at games that have already been completed. So keep an eye out for that.
All right, hang on. We'll jump over halftime. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. Here's Dante Pettis on the return. And he's up across the 25 and down at the 28-yard line. Here comes the 49ers offensive unit as they'll have it first to begin this third quarter. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive. And we often talk about teams scripting plays to start a game. A lot of them script to start the second half, too. And they're scripting something that they expect to get them into the end zone and back into this game.
We'll see if that script is a good one for them. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And not a whole lot doing there as he'll get it up to about the 28-yard line. Byron Maxwell, the corner, in on the tackle.
Well, they're hoping that the second half is better for him than the first half. They've got to find a way to get him going. He's a big part of their offense.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete.
But no second guessing the call here. It was 3rd and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. Now it's Lockett. They'll call that a punt of 59 yards. Tough to do better than that. And it'll be Seahawk football as they take over deep in their own territory. Here comes the Seahawks offensive unit. They'll have it first to begin the third. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, though, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire.
And down he goes. The 49ers get there. DeForest Buckner with a great push up front. He picks up the sack and a loss of 8. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're going to be almost discrediting their work.
And they'll bring him down here up at about the 22-yard line. It's a pickup of 12, and that'll set up a third down.
I wonder what was going through his mind when he got the play call. He just got sacked on the previous play. He knows they're coming after him again. A little bit of guts to stand in there, take the hit, and successfully complete the screen pass. Really well done.
Wilson. And he's got room. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field.
Holding, offense.
So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. The only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
And this third down looking very tough after the holding penalty. 3rd and long.
Move 15. Let's go, 14. 14.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Wilson. And he's taken down. Back at his own 7. Solomon Thomas in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a 4th down. This man's been a fan favorite in the Bay Area for a while. First with Stanford, now with San Fran.
The number 3 pick out of Stanford last season. His versatility is the key to his success. Whether he's playing defensive tackle, defensive end, line him up over the nose in passing situations, he usually uses his quickness to get to the quarterback.
And San Francisco gets set to go here. They were forced to punt last time, and I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
There's Garoppolo to throw. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. They'll run it now out of the gun. Bust through the tackle. And he'll do a nice job here just to fight his way back to the line of scrimmage. Making the stop that time, Bobby Wagner.
No gain on that run, and while the team is down, there's still time to come back and win the football game. If I'm the offensive coordinator, though, I've got to think about moving at a faster pace and maybe opening things up a little bit and throwing it a little bit more.
Throwing is Garoppolo on 3rd down. And it's intercepted. Picked off by Delano Hill. And his guys are going to take over at the 31-yard line.
And, Brandon, this is a real nice job defensively of getting inside a quarterback's head and figuring out, okay, where's he going with the football? Because you can make an educated guess defensively. Not all the time, but sometimes. And when you're right, you've got a decent chance of coming away with the football.
The Seahawks offense now, they get ready to come back onto the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. That throw good for 4. It's 2nd down.
Well, the strategy was evident there. Get it to your tight end, and make it a one-on-one play with a cornerback. Who's usually going to win that one?
The tight end, but not there.
Not in this situation. How about the corner defeating that logic and making a really nice tackle?
On second down, here's Wilson. Sliding out of the pocket. Now he's going to throw deep. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way in, touchdown Seattle. Jerron Brown, 65 yards. And the Seahawks find a way to stretch their lead. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room with that one.
And I don't want people to think that NFL locker rooms are cookie cutter, that everyone's saying the exact same thing in every situation. But I do know that all 32 teams have an emphasis on starting fast. Game, the second half, no matter what, whether it's first 5 minutes, first 3, whatever. This was a big score to start the second half.
Janikowski adds the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. Out to kick is Janikowski. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. And the 49ers getting set to trot out there. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious, because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here.
I'd say they've got to find a way to get him going. He's such a big part of their offense. I wonder if they might throw it a little and come back to the run.
Anything, because you're right. He's pretty much been completely neutralized.
I got you. Everyone's got four down.
By 20.
On play action, it's Garoppolo. He's going to look deep down the field. And for a third time tonight, he's intercepted. Picked up by Delano Hill. And they have possession, and they have it at the 38-yard line.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Here's Russell Wilson and the Seahawk offense now getting set to go again. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the one touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this third and fourth quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's touched.
Respect.
Four down. Gotta go. Four down.
Here's Carson, and he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a third down.
So, Brandon, when this offense gathers together to watch tape for this game, they're going to be feeling pretty good about themselves until the coaches get upset about the play we just saw. But you know their defense is going to be. But we put up big points all game long. The defense is going to win one every now and then.
And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. Able to make something out of nothing there. 17 yards and a first down.
You and I both know most coaches are really fearful about their quarterbacks running with the ball. They don't want them to take that big hit. I don't think they worry about that with Russell Wilson. He's so smart in what he does, and we just saw it there on that scramble.
Alert. Hey, check your
Penny, the first down carry, and he'll be brought down, losing yardage back at the 40. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down. Back now here in Santa Clara. It's the Seahawks with the possession. They also have the lead here as we get set for the fourth and final quarter.
Tempo. Kids.
On second down, Wilson. And this is caught on the left side, Jerron Brown. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to third down.
And when you're playing a quarterback with some experience and some moxie, you enter the danger zone when you decide to blitz him, because if he's able to diagnose as he did on that play, he can hurt you downfield.
He reads defenses so well, doesn't he?
He really does, and the best part about that play for him, I don't think that was his primary target.
I don't think so either.
I think he had...
Rush coming, and he's taken down. Eli Harold in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that'll lead to a fourth down.
The amount of sacks that they've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the fourth.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. The 49ers offense now, they get set to head back on the field. And they've sort of lost their way, partner. How do they recalibrate and get this proverbial train back on track?
Well, this is where leadership really comes into play. How's the head coach handling it? The offensive coordinator? Sometimes they just make a joke. All right, guys, had your fun? All right.
Throw it out the window.
Yeah, let's get back on track here. And sometimes that'll work just fine.
I guess it's time now to lean on that leadership. He goes full extension, and he's got it. They give him 13 yards there on the play and a fresh set of downs.
And that's how you throw for a whole heap of yards in a game. You get efforts like that from your receivers. How about him laying out for that catch?
Yeah, excellent. Makes the quarterback look a whole lot better. On first down, Garoppolo. A dump down to McKinnon. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. It's a gain of 5, and it's a second down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
They run a draw here on second down. And some space here. And nothing but green grass here, middle of the field. Touchdown, 49ers. Jerick McKinnon, 57 yards. And the 49ers get a score closer. And on that long run, maybe the defense caught napping a little bit.
The concentration level may not have been there. I agree with you on that one, because those types of plays, when they result like that, they're almost like big bolts of lightning, aren't they? Whoosh, and off he goes.
Gold to add the extra point. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and that cuts this lead down to 13. The punter Pinion now to kick this one away. Lockett the return. And good starting field position. He'll get this one all the way up to about the 35-yard line. The Seattle now ready to march out of the field. And fortunate to get points on the board last time. They had to hit a really long field goal to do so.
The kickers in today's game are so good and so skilled and hit from distances that we almost start to take them for granted, and we can't do that. That's a long field goal that they got 3 points out of. They've got to feel good about that, and they better make sure they love him up, because he's helped them out.
Yeah, now we'll see if that offense can put 6 on the board here. We'll see.
Sometime in this fourth quarter, someone on defense is going to have to step up and force a turnover.
They stay on the ground. Again, it's Carson. Trying to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Solomon Thomas there on the tackle. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
On third down, Wilson. He may try and run for this. Opted to run for it. The decision a good one. Picking up the first, getting 14 yards on the scramble. That is an absolute backbreaker. That was a design passing play, wasn't a draw. You think you got him stopped, good coverage downfield, and he's able to pick up the first with his legs. Defensively, that kicks into your psyche and hurts a little bit, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and here's the thing. Anytime you give up a first down, it hurts you psychologically, but it hurts more when they get it this way because you've covered everything. He didn't have any place to throw the football. He takes off running and picks it up anyway, and now you have to stay on the field for an extra set of downs.
And really could have used that stop trailing here in the fourth.
Watch tight. Tight end's right. Watch tight. Tight end's right. 12.
On second down, here's Penny. And they'll bring him down after just a short pickup. And it's Reuben Foster in on the tackle.
This drive is pretty clear. Almost feels like old school fundamentals, doesn't it? Want to impose their will on the defense. What's that, 5 straight runs?
Yeah, 5 straight carries to start this drive. And like you said, the way it's working, they may just stick with it. The Seahawks on third down. They've had good success, 5 for 8 to this point. This will be 3rd and 6. Again, it's Penny. And he'll get it inside the 40 to the 39. It's a 5-yard pickup, but spotted a few chain links short of the first, so a little bit of decision time here coming up on 4th down. Pete Carroll, no stranger to rolling the dice. He'll roll it again. 4th down, they're going for it. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So it's Seahawk football as we march toward a conclusion. They've got a 4th down here in a game that looks to have been decided already. They run for it with Carson, and he will have a first down as they get him to the ground at the 37. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ballgame.
Let's go.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Looking for a seam, but finding none. He'll get back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. Oh, Wilson going to throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now we're going to get a timeout defensively. So another stop, 1:50 left in the football game. Wilson of the Seahawks looking for something big following the sack. It's 3rd and long here. They'll run it now out of the gun. And that play will go nowhere. Losing yardage back near midfield at the 49. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up 4th down.
Hey, a lot of points have been scored in this game, but what a nice play by the defense. Stepping up on that one. Maybe they'll get things going in their direction after a play like that.
He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. And this will hit just beyond the goal line as it's into the end zone for a touchback. And San Francisco gets set to go here. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
He finds McKinnon, complete. And he's able to get it all the way down to the 20. A big play there on the catch and run, and even 60 yards.
You got 4. You got 4.
Sit hot. Sit hot.
And he spikes it here with 35 seconds left.
Check. Tight right. Hey, 4 down.
Garoppolo to throw on second down. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up third down. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Garoppolo looks to throw. And this is caught now for a late touchdown. So hold everything here. This one's not over yet. Okay, game on. Don't go anywhere yet. You got a 1-score game now. Probably going to rely on the onside kick coming up.
Yeah, they have to. It's not a high percentage play, but it's better than not having a chance at all. And that's when you put your leapers and your flyers on one side, get that high hop, and hope that one of the guys can come up with it.
And on the other side, get that hands team ready.
No doubt about it.
So 20 seconds remain. It'll come down to this. And this is going to be taken in by the Seahawks. And it would appear they're on their way to victory now. They had to go for it with no timeouts remaining, though, now. This one's as good as over.
They gave it an effort. They tried their best, did everything they could to try and get the ball on the onside kick. You're exactly right. They had to try it. It was their only option. And now this game is done. Just take it, kneel, and call it a day.
The Seahawks in victory formation as they go ahead and take the knee. A lot of scoring. There's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So that's a wrap for Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, and this has been a presentation of the NFL on EA Sports. For more, check us out at easports.com. With that, we say good night from Silicon Valley.